Good morning, you motherfuckers. Welcome to the Dana Keith podcast. I am your host, Dana Keith, and this is a podcast called Network Your Network, all right? So if you're listening, I thank you so much already. That's the biggest thing you could do is give me your time. But if you're kind enough to go to rate us 5 stars on iTunes, give us a like and subscribe on YouTube. But that would be my call to action. Other than that, it's simply be inspired and to keep rocking with us. So once again, thanks for tuning in. Today, I have a special guest. Now, this guest here, I've been following on social media probably for about a year now, and this is our first time to actually network with each other. So we're going to network our network. My guest today, I'm going to call Thomie Isreal. He say that's not his God-given name, or mother-given name. He's got a slogan for that, but this is what we call him.
Yeah, man, my name is Thomie Isreal. You know, my mother didn't give me that name. I gave myself that name with the hope that I could live by it, stand by it. When it's all said and done, I live up
to it. So first off, before I introduce this guest, I got to make sure I hit it. My guest today, I want y'all to know is Thomie Isreal, but y'all should know him as Finding Summit.
Finding Summit, man. And you know, let me say, first of all, I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to be on your podcast, first and foremost.
Man, thanks for being here.
This is an honor. You got to think, this is really an honor because you got to think about where we come from. We coming from connecting from social media.
Yeah,
just
straight up.
From one DM, right? And we building a rapport from one DM. And you got a podcast, I got a podcast. So how can you help me? How can I bring value to you? So this is right on point for what you're trying to do because you're showing a perfect example of what you're trying to do. Some people just talking.
Yeah, straight up.
Example of what you're trying to do with this thing, man.
Exactly. We trying to network, inspiring people to network theirs. I'm giving people opportunity to network with mine, and I'm definitely trying to dive into your network. So it's like a collaborative effort, and just like Thomie just said, man, we connected off of a DM. And then we kind of just started, following each other, really been fucking with your vibe. So that's where I want to open up, man, if that's fair.
I'm with it. Let's go.
First and foremost, man, I want to give a shout out to you because you got the Daily Bag podcast.
Daily Bag,
man. That has a lot we could speak on that alone. Just the title, the way that you go about it, the daily. Right. You gave me the open opportunity to curse you out. And you know what I'm saying, that the Daily Bag podcast, man. If y'all ain't tuned in, man, tune into that. And then second,
you gotta come on and get that.
Yeah, man. The second podcast he had rocking was the Social Corner podcast. So I wanted to plug those podcasts for my guests to tune into your content and to check out Finding Summit. So let's hop into that, man. What's good with the Daily Bag podcast and what you got going?
Yeah, so the Daily Bag podcast is something, and I'm going to keep it real with your audience, man, because I can't talk, let me walk, man. If I can't talk, then let me walk off this show right now because I got to keep it real.
Straight up.
Organic.
Let's do it.
That Daily Bag podcast started in a homeless shelter. I was in a homeless shelter. I had nothing.
Wow.
I had nothing, but I seen this little thing where Anchor said, yo, you can start your own podcast just using your cell phone. I said, I need something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I need something just to keep me alive, just to keep my vibe and my spirit together. So I started the Daily Bag, and I named it the Daily Bag because, the youth was like, yo, I'm going to get the bag. I'm going to get the bag.
Right.
So I said, okay, the bag for me is not necessarily money right now. It's going to be my daily bag that I could go in that bag and pull out a tool to get me through that day.
Yeah.
And that's how the Daily Bag started. Like, I'm going to go in this bag and pull out a
tool. Own bag.
Yeah, my own bag, maybe patient, because you living in a homeless shelter in New York City, you're talking about hundreds of men in one big open space.
Yeah.
You need patience.
Right.
You need patience to use the bathroom. You need patience to use the shower. You need the patience to get some rest.
Right.
So I had to dig into my bag every day and come up with a tool to get me through just that daily struggle. And I wanted to show people, no matter where you at, it's not about your now. It's about where you can be.
That's
all right,
powerful.
so I'm going to show you. I'm in a homeless shelter now, but watch where I'll be next year if I stay focused and follow me. Look at me. I'm not just going to pop up on you, a millionaire. I'm going to show you with the progress how you get to a 10,000, how you get to 100,000, how you get back on your feet from a homeless shelter to now you back into your right swagger with a car, got a nice crib in Jersey. But I'm not just going to tell you this blah, blah, blah.
Right.
I'm going to show you if you follow me. And that's what the Daily Bag was about. Just having people listening every day and strengthening myself. Because remember, it's just a conversation with myself.
With yourself.
And I give everybody else the warrant and the permission to listen in.
Amen.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
fuck
They
with your
gonna
slogans, man. I love them shits. Every time they come
right,
up, man, it gives me chills.
right.
But let's talk about
That's
that,
great.
man. You're showing people the grind. You're not just gonna show them, hey, this is where I'm at, which is,
Yeah,
it's a privilege to have that insight to really have a tangible grasp of where the fuck you were at the time. Like you in a
right,
homeless
right,
shelter and you digging
right.
in your own daily bag. Like,
Mm,
I call that the cookie jar. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
You got to hop in your own cookie jar sometimes and pull
mm,
something from within. And
mm.
that's something I got from a book I read. David Goggins, Can't Hurt Me. So that's the plug for a book if y'all trying to read a good
Okay,
book.
yeah,
But
I'm heavy on the book joint too. I'm heavy on the book, and that's exactly what the daily bag was, and it saved my life, man. I mean, I was in some tough time because you got to think about at July 2017, I'm at the Mayweather fight blowing 25-30,000
yeah,
at the Mayweather fight.
let's
6 months
backtrack, man,
later,
because
I'm
this
home.
is stuff that I want to know personally. If you're fair with talking about it, I want to talk about
Let's
that
go. Let's go.
that
Let's
roller
go.
coaster ride, because I know
Let's
we
go.
had shared a couple stories, but like, what's the insight to that? What really happened? Why were you, or how did you get to the top? Why did you fall? And then what's your plan to come back to the top?
I had a company. I had a company called Urban Recycling.
Mm,
Urban Recycling was just a company. We went around all New York City and said, "Can we have your garbage? Can we have your recyclables? Any of your paper, any of your bottles, any of your cardboard you're throwing away? We'll come throw it away for you. Just let us have it. Let us have permission to have it." And we
wow.
went to all the skyscrapers and everywhere. This job started out just with my goal was to make $150 a week. That's all I wanted to make. Supplement my income, to do a side job. Within a year, I had it doing 150,000. Now that's not 150 million, but that's okay. You know what I'm saying? 150,000 a year is great for me. You're talking about a
Hell
gentleman
yeah.
who got too many felonies, who has no education, never been to college. So if I'm doing 150,000 on my own accord, something I built, I'm proud of it. I don't care what you say.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
something's
saying?
working.
Yeah, I'm gonna do this. So that business had built up. We wound up having 8 employees. 6 of them was full time. 8 in total. You know what I'm saying? It was a great opportunity. And I built this company as something special. Now, when the new political climate came in with Trump, it got shut down. Now, I can't blame Trump for anything.
Right.
I cannot blame him for anything because I had like a 4 or 5 year run with this company where I should have been all the way on my feet. So when he came and changed and started beefing with China, I should already been maneuvering in something else.
Uh-huh.
Right? So I was
Yep.
making poor decisions as a business owner. And what hurts me the most is I had a team. I had a dedicated team that would come out every day and hit them streets with me 10 hours a day easy. And I let them down and that hurt it. You know what I'm saying? I made poor decision making plan. I hurt myself and I hurt these guys, these young men that had my back, bro. And that's what hurts me the most. But homelessness hurted me. Losing everything and losing this company hurted me. And I made poor decisions because Trump came in, he beefed with China with the tariff. The tariff, they was buying the cardboard off with unlimited recyclables. China's calling me like, please send more. Please send more. So when Trump came in, what he did was with the tariff, they said we're no longer buying recyclables from America. They made it illegal for companies to buy recyclables from America. So I started bleeding 7,000-8,000 a week trying to keep this company alive, looking for new connections in India and Africa. And before you know it, I was in hot water. You know what
Okay,
I'm saying?
so basically you're getting the recyclables, and correct me if I'm wrong, you're getting the recyclables, from hustling them, grabbing them, and then you're distributing those or selling the product to someone else. Is that kind of how it
Yeah,
works?
exactly how it works. You just packaging it up and getting it out to China.
Man,
And
that
China
just it leaves
is
me with like in awe, because it kind of reminds me of like the just flipping. Like
yeah,
you're
yeah.
you're just you're flipping a product.
That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. And it's a common thread where one thing about New York City ain't gonna never run out of no cardboard and no paper and no bottles and no cans. Bro. You know
Ain't
what
that
I'm
the
saying? I mean, this
truth?
is big business. This is big business, and you got the giants in the business. But
Yeah,
I'm just had my little small thing, and I was happy. I
yeah.
got my team. You're young. We chilling. We can go to any concert we want, front stage, backstage. I mean, we can do anything we want. It felt good.
Okay,
It
okay.
felt good,
Eh,
man. You know what I'm saying? But I made some mistakes, and it cost me heavy. Like I'm saying, one minute I'm in Vegas at the Mayweather fight, blowing 20, 30,000. Next minute, 6 months later, wake up, I'm living on a train.
No
You know what I'm
shit.
saying? Living on a train because you make
Yeah.
poor decisions. You think it can't happen to you, but it can.
Right. Right. Right.
Believe me. You know
Anything.
what I'm
Yep.
saying? Believe me. You know what I'm saying? You just got to be ready to battle back. You
Yep.
gotta be able. You gotta be able. My main mantra that saved my life is that you gotta be able to replace expectation with appreciation. If
Ooh,
not, you
that's a
will die,
gem.
bro. You
Hold
will
on, hit us with
die.
it one more
You
time.
know
Hit
what
us
I'm saying?
with it one more time. Say it
You
again.
will have to be able to survive when you hitting tough times. To be able to survive and come back, the main mechanism you have to be able to replace expectation with appreciation.
With
And let me show you
appreciation.
how. Let me show you how. Let me
Yep.
show you how.
Yep.
I'm in a homeless shelter. I'm
Yep.
in a dorm with 100 men, mentally ill, people out of prison, rapists, pedophiles. I'm talking about the worst of the worst. And I'm
Right.
laying here, right?
Right.
But you got to be able to tell yourself, at least I'm not outside in the cold. It's 19 degrees outside, man.
Straight up.
That's a cold, man. It ain't below zero, but you stay outside in 19-degree New York City, cold, wind blowing weather, you gonna have a problem, bro.
Hell
And
yeah.
they out there sleeping on the ground. At least I'm inside where there's heat. That's
Man.
appreciation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now I could work on something else for tomorrow. At least I can appreciate that. I don't have no nice car. They took the Range Rover. They took the Porsche. They took the house. But at least I got a Metro card that will get me on a train to help me go look for jobs.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So long as you have that appreciation for that, you're gonna find some little bit of hope, a little bit of happiness, but mixed with that little bit of hope, it opens some doors, man. And that's what it's been about for me, man. Getting back, just getting back, bro.
That
That's what it's
mindset
been
is so
about.
powerful, man. You know, it's relentless. It shows the grit and the fight within yourself. You know, but I gotta ask real quick, like, what do you what do you think was, and this is more for like me being an entrepreneur and starting my business. Like, I've been on my own for probably about like 6 months, and it's
Okay.
going good, but I can do a lot better. But my question to you is, what was the learning experience through that downfall? Like, what would you have done different? What could you tell a business owner, you know, to be aware of those downfalls or those pitfalls that can and they will happen?
For sure. For sure. I think, and that's an excellent question you asked, and that's an excellent question. I think people are going to learn from this. The most important thing you can do when you have to prepare for war in the time of peace. And remember when I say that, you want to prepare for war in the time of peace, because when things are going good, is the time you need to be looking for something else.
Oh yeah.
Because once the drama starts, the guns is out. The battle was on. So you ain't got time to be looking for nothing else because the battle was on. But if I had been looking for another stream of income when everything was going good, and then when it came, I would have been already ready to transition to something new. See, I was only concentrating on that one thing. And number two, where I went wrong is your vice. And as successful people, we have vice because we're doing good. So we tend to do stuff. We might start partying too much. We might start indulging with the opposite sex too much. We might start gambling, drinking, drugging. So it's important to control your vice. So if you're looking for another stream of income and you controlling your vice, you already good. You already preparing yourself. So once you're doing those two things, when things are going good, you okay. So when the rumble tumble comes, you already ready to go. You walking out the door, everything else is falling behind you, but you're safe. You don't want the building to collapse on top of you. And that's what happened to me. It collapsed on top of me, man.
Hey man,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I appreciate the honesty. Like I actually wrote that down. Prepare for war in a time of peace. I need to start taking notes on these podcasts. You dropping some damn gems already. I appreciate that.
Man. No problem, bro.
Man,
no problem.
Let's hop into something else that I think I'm gonna claim and I'm gonna title it, but don't let me title your work ethic. I'm gonna call it crazy. But you working 80-hour weeks for a whole fucking year.
80 hours a week, 52 weeks straight. You know why? Because I wanted to show the people that ain't no excuses. I mean, I'm gonna give you 80. I'm gonna give you 80 a week average. Now that's like a triple double in the NBA. I mean, I'm gonna give it to you every night. I'm not gonna take a playoff. I'm gonna come and give you every night because I want to show you the example. Now some might be 60 hours, and then other ones might be 100, but the average out to 80 hours, that's 4,160 hours I put in because I wanted to show you. I wanted you to see that I can get it done at 50 years old. I'm gonna bring it to you. You know what I'm saying? So that if you at 25 and you at 30 or you at 65, I can do it. You can do it. And this is how you save and this is how you get back on your feet.
Yep.
because you have to. If you want to get back on your feet and you want to feel good about yourself, you have to make the sacrifices.
Right,
You
right, right.
have to, man. It feel good. After it's all said and done, it feel good, man. And that's
What's
all you
helping
want out
you
of life.
you maintain that? Like what's allowing you to get through that type of shit? That's a long week.
The thought process of failure. The laughing.
The what if.
I'll tell you what really helps, what hurt that helped me and motivated me when I thought about when I was on that train, living on that train, and I was on that A train in New York. Anybody that know about New York, that A train runs long, so all the homeless people usually sleep on the A train because it runs through the whole New York. You
Okay.
see what I'm saying? It says Staten Island, but it runs through mostly every borough, and it's mostly inside, so you don't be cold because it's inside when the train is running. It's really cold outside. However, one thing about the A train, when it's going into Queens, it goes into the beach areas. So that means when that door opens up, it's that cold water coming off that cold icy Atlantic Ocean.
Yep.
So that cold gets up under your skin, up under your clothes, and it wakes you up and reminds you that you in trouble, that you homeless.
Yep.
I never want to forget that feeling. I don't want to go back to that feeling. So if
Yeah.
I need to be motivated to work, I just think about that. And that's what you have in life is you have your mental Rolodex that you dig into. When you need that, you dig into that.
Yeah.
Dig into your mental Rolodex that's going to get you through that little inch of time, that little push that gets you through. And I'll tell you another thing that helps me, and this might be out of all your audience. They might not have this in their mental Rolodex. But my friends say, how can you wash dishes for all of these hours, bro? And I tell them, you know what? Because I wash dishes in one of the worst prisons in America. I wash dishes in one of the worst prisons in America for 16 cents an hour. You think I ain't happy about getting this $16 an hour?
Church.
You know what I'm saying? If I wash dishes in this worst prison where these dudes is beefing about cornbread and extra Kool-Aid and they ready to take my head off about some nonsense, and then I gotta go back to the cell block where people are getting no telling the terror that's going on there. You think I'm not happy about this $16? When I get off work, I can at least go home where I can go to maybe a loving wife or a loving son before I'm just going back to hundreds of angry men. That's what motivates. I can look back on that one and I was only getting 16 cents. Now I'm getting $16. Now I work so hard, they got no other choice but to give me 18, 20. You got no other choice but to give me $24.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to put it in. You know what I'm saying? Anybody call out, I want his spot too. What's up? You know what I'm saying? What you need to do me a triple? Let me get an hour of sleep and I'll do the triple too. You know what I'm saying? Because I could go to my mental Rolodex about the hardship I've been through and let that fuel me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's how I look. That's how I look at life, bro. I go into my mental Rolodex and let's go. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get through this and we're gonna get back to the promised land. It's the Finding Summit. My
Straight
man Lee tell me, he says he does his thing. My man Lee Acito on I am Acito on Instagram. The guys, I love him because he does his real estate. He wanted to be a DJ, so he started just traveling over to Tokyo and Japan and Asia and start DJing. You know, because that's what he loved. That's what he wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? He designs his clothes. He got the clothing line. So I love the guy. But he hit me. He said, yo, Tom. He knew he always go, Finding Summit every time he called me.
Yeah, that's my shit,
slogan,
bro.
right?
Yeah.
He loved it, right? So he told me one day, he was like, after he said Finding Summit, he said, yo, Black. Because he called me Black. He said, yo, Black. What's Finding Summit? Like, well, who is that? Who's Summit? And I said, nah, Summit is you
your
finding
summit.
something, you trying to reach the highest peak of you.
Right.
Like people climbing the gyro and all these great mountains. Sometimes the greatest mountain to conquer is yourself.
It's your damn
so I'm
self.
trying to find my summit. I'm trying to get to the highest peak of me. You know what I'm saying? That's Finding Summit. You know what I'm saying? That's why I named it that. And I was in the homeless shelter when I opened that Instagram. You know what I'm saying? When you look at one of the Instagram, the early ones, you see lockers in the room. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't nobody got no lockers in their bedroom. You know what I'm saying? Just that happened to be in a room with 3 other men and lock your stuff and we had to put in the locker.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I got to find my summit. I got to find the highest peak of me. And this is where it starts. You know 100%. What I'm saying? And that's how it goes. That's how it is, man.
Yeah, I think the concept of Finding Summit is incredible. I mean, it hits me right in the soul because a lot of people aren't trying to, reach to the top of themselves. They kind of doing what other people want them to do, and so, I guess the best way to say this is they're focusing outward instead of inward. And
That's
something
true.
that I want to pick up on, and this is just a thought that I want to exert real quick, is that
So,
I find it interesting that a lot of successful entrepreneurs or a lot of people that are out there grinding pull from a place of fire. And what I mean by that
mm,
is pull from a place of pain, or like pull
mhm,
from like kind of like a negative situation to
mhm,
bring you the inspiration to get through something,
mhm,
versus to
mhm,
where some people want to put the cliche shit and kind of dress it up all pretty and maybe say
mhm.
like they do it for X, Y, and Z that might be, you know, applaud worthy, but it don't really get the job done. So what I've
Mm,
been finding through my own personal experiences, like the pain, the shit that I've been through that is
right.
dark, the shit that hurts, the
Mhm,
shit that,
mhm,
maybe I don't want to tell everybody, but that's what can pull you through.
mhm. Yeah,
That's the real good fuel. That's worthy.
yeah, and that's really true. Because some people want to be vulnerable. Some people don't want to be vulnerable, and other people are just fake.
Yep.
So they have to put the facade. You know what I'm saying? They put a facade up, and they don't want to go into that pain. And some people, honestly, don't have it.
Mm.
You know, and it's nothing
Damn, that's
wrong with you
real.
not
There's nothing
having it.
wrong with it,
You
but it's
you
real.
you just have to find your joint because they told me men are motivated by two things in this world, and only two things in this world. Men are motivated by desperation and inspiration.
Oh my
That's
God,
it.
that's hard.
That's
I
it.
gotta write that down.
That's all men are motivated by. But that's what separates the good and the great. That's why I will never fall into the greats because I've always been motivated by desperation. Jay Z, if you look at him, he's always been motivated by inspiration. Jay
Yeah.
don't have to get shot to
Right.
become
Right.
because he doesn't have to go through too much turmoil. He just inspires himself to continue to grow. So it's nothing wrong with you not having nothing. It's nothing wrong with you not having to go through prison and not having to go through hardship. And you
Right.
went to Harvard or you went to good school. That's okay. You got to just pull your stuff from somewhere else.
Right. Right. Right.
My representation is coming from where I come from, and because of my hardship, that's where I'm pulling it from.
Right.
You got to pull from yours, but don't be fake. Keep
Right.
it real. You
I,
say, hey, I never been to prison. I went to private school.
right.
Then you
Right.
gonna pull
Right.
yours from maybe your inspiration is trying to battle with the other 90201 kids, the other Beverly Hill kids, or wherever y'all went to school. Now, yep, inspiration is to battle with them because they fathers got a head up on your father, so they could maybe push them further. So your battle might dig deeper to
Right.
catch them and
Right.
shut them down.
Yep.
You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? You
Yep.
might have been a nerd in school, and your power might come from feeling like some Power Ranger where you got to get the bullet. He bullied you all the time. Now you want to marry the girl the high school cheerleader, but you was a nerd all through high school. So your inspiration is to marry her, the one that everybody wanted.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Your inspiration might be something different. Mine just come from a deeper position. You
Yeah.
see what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with yours, but
Yeah.
just keep it real. Don't fake it. Don't be like no Vanilla Ice when you gonna get on the stage and they gonna ask you for the gunshot and you can't even show them where you was shot at.
Right.
Don't
Right.
Vanilla Ice yourself. You know what I'm saying? I know that's going a little bit too back, but don't Vanilla Ice yourself, man. You'll Google him. You got Google young people out there. Y'all got Google
Yeah.
Google
Yeah.
him.
Yeah. You
You know?
definitely you might have aged yourself a little bit, but
Yeah,
fuck that.
yeah,
Tell the audience to do some
yeah.
research. But
Do
no,
some
man,
research.
I like that, man. I like that a lot. And it kind of made me laugh when you was talking about the nerd running through the school, because I pictured like the nerd in my school running the lunch and
Yeah,
shit. But
yeah.
maybe he does have his own story and his own
Mm-hmm,
goals,
mm-hmm,
that he's chasing his own adversity, I guess I could
mm-hmm.
say, that we
Yeah,
don't really have the insight of. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
that you can pull from that. And
yeah.
I gotta ask you, kind of leading into this, like, what is your goal? What's your plan for 2020? What are you aiming at? Like, what is your
Okay.
goal?
Before I tap on it, let me say something to you. Before I tap on it, is that okay? Before I tap on that,
Let's do
I'm
it.
gonna, yeah, yeah. First of all, I want to say, man, I don't know how long you've been interviewing, but you're a damn good motherfucking interviewer, man. Let me put that out there, right? You're leading this thing right, man. I've been dealing with some people that can't do it, but you're doing a hell of a job. So let me just put that out there, man.
Thanks, brother.
You're a hell of a fine interviewer, man. All right, so I'm gonna tap on that question, man. In 2020, I want that to be one of my best years, man. I want that to be one of my best years I ever had. And my main goal, it's not really about money. Even though I got a money mark in my mind,
Church.
even though I got a money mark in my mind, It's not about that. It's two things I want to do. I want to finish this book off, right? I'm going to finish my book off, and I want to run the 2020 marathon, right, in New York City.
Those
now,
are
if
two
I
great
could do
goals.
that, everything else is going to fall into place.
Right.
I'm going to hit the money mark.
Straight up.
You know what I'm saying? I'm going to hit the money mark. If I got enough mental space to write this book, that means I'm totally focused. And if I get the chance to run that 2020 marathon, that means my body is in shape. So if my mind and my body is in shape, financially going to fall into place, man. You ain't even got to worry about that. And that's my goal. My goal is to finish off this book and then run the 2020 marathon. Everything else going to fall into place. I'm going to make my numbers. It's just the way it is. But if God keep me healthy, I'm going to do my numbers. If my numbers is say, okay, I'm coming out of the homeless shelter, my goal was to make $100K in 1 year. But I said, give myself 10,000 off, so I made 90K. It don't sound like a lot to you, but that's okay with you. That's okay. Your mark might have been 900,000, but I know my mark, giving myself a realistic, was 90K coming out of a homeless shelter. Right. So now I might want to just double that down and might make 200K this year. I'm not gonna worry about my numbers, because as long as I could just set my goal, what is that 2020 marathon, and to finish off that book, everything is gonna fall into place. And I gotta help some people, bro. I want to really put my hands on some people this year. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? I want to put my hands on. I want to guide them and say, yo, come on, let me work with you. You know what I'm saying? Let me show you how this thing is done. Call me when it gets tough. Call me when you need something. Call me when you just doing good. You know what I'm saying? Let me keep that fuel inside of you. I just want to see somebody else shine, bro. I love to see others shine. That just fuels me, man. When I see some other people be like, yo, look, I'm at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like me, I go to homeless shelters and I speak to the women, I speak to the children, I speak to whoever they give me the opportunity to speak to, the men, whoever. I go back to the homeless shelter. I love when I bump into them, man. I love when I bump into one of them and they doing good, bro. Bro, they run up on you. They be like, you remember me?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, remember I was in the shelter? Now I got me my own room and I'm working at McDonald's. You would swear these people made $1 million. But
straight
it's the
up.
joy in their eyes.
Yeah.
It's not even about the money. It's about the joy in their eyes. You see that lady run up on you and she telling you I was in that battered woman's shelter. Now I got my own crib. My children got their own room. And I'm working in Wendy's. And I used to be on the burgers. Now I'm almost a manager. When you hear that story from her after she came and heard you speak, bruh, that's worth more than $100 million to me, bruh.
Straight
you know
up.
what I'm saying? That's priceless to me. I'm filled up. Now I can't wait because I want 10 more of them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I want 10 more of them ladies chasing me down, telling me that story. Because now you know what? It changed her son's life. Because now his son ain't going through that. He ain't got to wake up to the father beating the mother and strangling the mother. Now he's in his room and he can study.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now
Change
he got a different first. Now he might not have to go sell drugs. He might not have to do that stick up. He might have to stab that lady in the park and get 20 to life.
Straight up.
That's the change and the difference. You're not even changing his mother. You're changing some people that you don't even know you changing, bro.
Yeah. It's a ripple effect, man, and that it inspires me and lets me know, one, the quality of a man that you are, but also the leadership that you have. Being that one of your goals is to mentor and to pass down. I call it. There was a program that I used to have. It was like reach up, reach down. And basically what that means is like reach up, like look for a mentor, like find somebody to help you, and reach down is find somebody that you can help. So I find a lot of power. I got chills when you were saying that about you speaking at the homeless shelters and then them running out to you, because, I actually think that might be a trait of yours, is speaking. Like that might be your gift.
Right.
Like, to be able to inspire somebody, to be able to run up to you and tell you that their successes. Man, I'll tell you what, man, like ever since I started doing like the YouTube shit, I've been doing YouTube for a couple years, really ain't pop. I get probably like 50 views, 100 views, but I think my gift is when I'm able to inspire somebody, whoever that somebody is, man. So many people have reached out to me and be like, yo, the shit you say is real. And I get chills from that type of shit. But I want to double back real quick, because you mentioned something that I have on my goal list for 2020, and it's that book, man. What type of book are you writing? Talk to me about this book.
I'm giving this book, and I would like to title it. I can't get this title mean too. I can't get it out because I ain't copyrighted.
All right, yeah. Just text me it or something.
Yeah. But I would like to this book is like life lessons, like what
Okay.
I've been through and how you can grab from me. Because I like to say I lost millions of dollars. I made millions of mistakes, so you can go on and make millions of dollars. So I would like to
Ooh.
tell all the details in my life and the mistakes I made, so you can grab them and you can empower yourself. And
Yep.
you can also look at my stories like, wow, I didn't even have to go through all that.
Yep.
Maybe I got to jump ahead of him. And you
Right.
got to start ahead of me. I'm going to tell you about all my mistakes. I'm going to tell you about all my life. And I'm going to give you all the lessons that I learned. Because spending 15 years in prison, I studied. That was my thing.
Mm-hmm.
Studying. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Learning and studying all the conquerors and all the motivated speakers and all the empowering things. So I'm gonna give you all of that I learned. I'm gonna give you all and how to use them in certain situations. And
Yep.
that's what that book is. That book is gonna just be a in depth for all situations. Because I dealt with depression. I dealt with anxiety. I dealt with life threatening situations. I dealt with being on death row. I dealt with having a successful business. I
Yep.
dealt with marriage. I dealt with being a father. You know what I'm saying? I dealt with death of family members.
Yo,
You see
that's
what I'm
deep,
saying?
man.
I dealt with this already. So I'm going to give it to you just in case you going through that. You might be only going through one of those things, but
Right.
I'm going to give it to you to help you get through those things. I'm going to help you get through this adversity. You know what I'm saying? Because I already been through it. We can share it. And when you have somebody like that, that's what gets you through. That's like AA meetings. When you feel it's the worst of the worst, of gambling meetings. When you feel it's the worst of the worst, you go to these things and they can relate to you. And you feel like, wow, they even been through worse than me. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Right.
That's how I lost all my businesses was gambling. You know what I'm saying? I'm blowing through so much money gambling, trying to just being an idiot. Just
Right. Right.
gambling, that was my addiction, that was my vice.
That was your
So I
vice,
lost.
yeah.
And sometimes you think, damn, I just blew through 100K, 180K in 2 months. I'm broke, I got nothing. But when you go to a GA meeting, you realize there's people that blew 2 million in that time.
Right.
So
Right.
you don't
Right.
feel as bad. You
Hell
still
yeah.
feel bad,
Right.
but then you can relate to somebody.
Right.
And that's what that book will be, where they can relate to me. You know what I'm saying? Where they can go,
Yeah.
wow, this guy really, you know what I'm saying? It ain't as that bad for me.
Right.
I
Right.
want
Right.
you to feel that. You know, I want you to feel that there is hope that you can do it. Because we've been through it. Others and me and millions of others already been through it, so you can. It's just that sometimes you just need that one word. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? I'm
Right.
gonna keep it real with you. If you don't mind, let me go somewhere with you.
Yeah. Feel free. Let's do it.
Let's travel, yo. When I was growing up, I grew up in this place in Spanish Harlem, right? In Spanish Harlem, one thing about Spanish Harlem that everybody was like almost like mulatto or Puerto Rican, Dominican. They had good hair, they had hazel eyes, even the black people, because your family kind of mingled. So you, as the blacks and the Spanish, would
Right.
get together and they would have these beautiful, so-called quote unquote beautiful babies, right?
I
So
got
when
you.
I grew up, I was different because I was so dark.
Mm-hmm.
So they would call me all these names, the African booty scratcher, you black this, and make me feel ashamed
Hell
of
yeah.
who I was, bro. And it hurted me because I was ashamed of being black, of being dark, bro. And I remember getting on the elevator with this lady one day on a Sunday. I was going to store for my grandmother, and I was coming back with the stuff, and I got on the elevator with this lady. And I never forget it. She pressed 13. I pressed 17. And I'm just standing over on the side because I'm just a little boy. I'm standing on a little side.
How old are you?
Maybe 13,
All right. My bad. Keep
12,
going.
13. She looked at me. She said, she was staring at me. And I just looked over at her. She said, I apologize for staring at you, little boy, little man. But you're going to be a handsome young man when you grow up. And she got off the elevator on 13, man. I couldn't wait to get to 17, man. I ran in my grandmother's house. I gave her soda. I ran in that bathroom and I looked in that mirror, bro. I looked in that mirror and I seen a handsome young man.
God, I
I
got
seen a
chills.
handsome person at that point, man. And it changed my life forever. That's why I said my man calls me black. Anybody in Harlem, anybody call me Tom Black. They call me black because I was proud to be black at that point. I
Yeah.
felt good. I felt handsome. I felt strong. I felt empowered, man.
Amen. Yeah.
Just for this lady telling me that on the elevator, it stripped all that I wanted to. I wanted to bleach my skin and I wanted to do all this stuff. But once I seen she told me that, I felt so proud and
God.
inspired that I
Yeah.
seen a whole different face in the mirror that I had been seeing for 13 years, bro. Just by the kind words of that lady,
Crazy.
bro. So you don't know what you can say to somebody, man. That's why you be nice. Because you don't know what you say to a person walking down the street and how it can change their life. You don't know what that lady going through. You walk past, you say, sis, your hair looks nice, sis. You don't know how long she's been waiting to hear that from a man because her
Oh my
husband just been
God, that's
ignoring her.
crazy. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You
That's
know.
why I'm always just nice, man. You have to, because that lady schedule saved my life, man. I felt proud of who I was at that point. And
Yeah.
that self-esteem propelled me to be who I was, to be a bitch, to go out and be somebody, man. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say you never know. That's why I want to write that book from the heart, because there might be a word in that book that might save a life. And that
Right.
life that I save might be the life that gets me into heaven, bro.
Man, that's so
You know what I'm
powerful.
saying?
Yeah, yeah. And I
Mm-hmm.
think what I'm gonna take from that is to be nicer, more often, and
Mm-hmm.
how powerful that little gesture, or how important that little gesture can mean to somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's about. And I like
Right.
that you brought it back to the book, because one sentence in that book might change somebody's life. And
Might change somebody's life, bro. And that's for sure, for sure. You know what I'm saying? That's for sure, for sure. So, and I'm on it, bro. I'm telling you, I'm on it. I'm just gonna try to stay focused. That's why I'm gonna leave one job. I'm gonna
mm-hmm,
leave one job, and the thing it's tough for me leaving. I'm gonna leave both jobs by the end of the year for sure.
yeah,
But I'm leaving one job, and it hurts because I'm gonna tell you why. This lady had me when I was on the train. She pulled me in, bro, from the
mm-hmm,
train, man.
yes,
Miss Chang, man. Eve Chang, man. I was sleeping on the train, man. She gave me a shot.
mm-hmm,
She gave me a shot, bro. So it's gonna be kind of tough going to her, but I think she's gonna understand. Like, I got it from here. You put me in the nest. You let my wings get back better. I'm ready to fly, Miss Eve.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? I'm ready
yep,
to fly, Miss Chang.
yep,
But it's gonna hurt because this is the lady who gave me a shot when nobody else gave me nothing. She said, "I believe it. I see something in you. I see something in you." She stripped down all the everything from me. She said, "I see something in you. Forget what they're saying and forget your situation. I don't know what you're going. I see something with you. I want you to apply for this job." You know what I'm saying? So when I go to her, man, I'm ready to go now and tell you the truth, because I ain't trying to do all them 80 hours. I gave them to them already. But it's gonna be tough going to her, man, and tell her I'm ready to fly, because this is a woman who really, through tough times, she got me back on my feet. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I appreciate it.
You
And I
gotta
appreciate
appreciate
her.
the people who really helped you in those times. I can
Mm-hmm.
immediately think of, like, the down times that I've had. The people who were there, like, it's instrumental that they were there, and you do feel some type of obligation to,
Mm-hmm.
fulfill that desire or that need, that gap of whatever they gave you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But why are you quitting the job? Like, what's next? Like, what are you moving on next
Because
that
I
you're using
can't.
that time for?
There's no way that I'll be able to prepare for a 2020 marathon doing 80 hours a week. I'm out of the house 21 hours. I get in the house doing 2 hours, 3 hours sleep max.
Yep, yep, yep.
You know what I'm saying? There's no way for me to finish a book. There's no way for me to prepare for a 2020 marathon. There's
Okay.
no way for me to network. There's no way for me to do podcasts. No way for me
100%.
to help others. I
Yeah.
gotta go for the dream. I
Church.
gave that part already. You know
Hey,
what I'm saying? I
I'm
gave that
gonna
part.
tell you what my mentor told me. You ready?
I'm
Hey
listening.
man, fucking jump. He said
Mm.
he said build the airplane on the way down.
Yeah. Yeah.
That shit
I
was
heard that.
crazy. I
I
never
heard that.
ain't nobody ever tell me
Right.
some shit like that
Right.
before. I was
Right.
kind of amazed. Like, what the fuck you mean build the airplane on the way
Mm.
down?
Yeah. That's real right there. And that's what I'm about to go. That's what I'm about to do. I'll be smart, because I'll keep one job. You know
Yep,
what I'm
yep,
saying? I
100%.
still have 40. You know what I'm saying? Still have 40, and I transition smoothly with the lady till she finds someone else. And
Yep.
then I'll keep one job, and then the last of the year walk away from that job. But by the time it's time to run the marathon, it won't be no job. I'll be already created a job.
Do you
And that's
have the
all
date of the marathon, or is that just like you
it's
just
coming
going?
up, and it's no first week, the first Sunday in November. So
Okay.
whatever the first Sunday in November is for 2020 is the marathon.
Okay.
They
First
used to go the
Sunday.
first or the second, so they didn't put it out yet, but it's coming up. See, it's hard to get in the New York City Marathon. You ain't just slapping a number on your joint. You know what I'm saying? Slapping a number on your joint and you jumping in the race. Nah, it's real political, so you got to get in.
For
And
real?
I'm thinking, yeah, you just can't. No, it don't work like that. You got to be in a lottery. You got to be qualified. You got to be a part of something special.
No
But it's a
shit.
homeless shelter that race every year. That homeless people make through the marathon. They train homeless people and drug addicts to run the marathon. And I'm gonna try to get in with them.
Man,
And that's
you're not
how.
gonna try, man. You gonna do it, and
Oh yeah, yeah. Let's speak
yeah,
that into existence. I'm in with them
yeah. You
because I'm
already
gonna go
in
rock
first
them.
Sunday in November. You running the
Yeah,
marathon.
I'm
That's
in there,
incredible.
man.
I
I'm
wrote
in
that
there.
down because I'm a try and write a note and put it in my calendar,
Hmm.
to check up on you. You know, before
Yeah,
the
for
first
sure.
week of November.
Yeah, for sure. 'Cause I'm in that, man. Like you
That's
said,
dope,
I'm
man.
in that.
I want to run a fucking marathon this year too. I run like 2-3 miles when I
Uh-huh.
do run, but I've never
Right,
actually set out to like hit a half marathon or a marathon. But
right.
there's a couple, like for example, I'm just pull her out because she's a former teacher of mine, but she's
Mm.
like, man, I could tell you she's probably hitting like 60, bro. And she's
Wow,
running marathons like it's cake.
wow,
And it make me, you know,
wow.
I'm coming up on my 30s, and it makes me like
Right,
just have a different perception of, you know, my body, the will,
right.
and the peaks of, you know, or the capabilities, I guess. So I want to
Mm.
challenge myself. I'm gonna go ahead and put it on air. When y'all
Yeah,
motherfuckers hear
man.
this, y'all gonna laugh at me, but
Yeah,
I don't give
man.
a fuck.
Yeah, man.
I'm running a
Yeah,
marathon
man.
and I'm writing a
That's
book
it.
too. I'm
Yeah.
following my man
Yo, that's
Tommy.
how you have to be. That's right. That's how you have to be, man. You just gotta set out to it, and you put your mind to it. It's crazy, yo, what you can do, bruh.
Yeah.
You think I knew I could do 80 hours a week, 52 weeks straight?
Nah.
Nah. Once you put it's just the will. Like you said, the will. It
Yeah.
lets you know you can be inspired just by her. Because
Straight
you
up.
gotta be saying she's 60.
Right.
I'm
Right.
not even 30. How
Right.
can
Right.
I do it?
Right.
That's how you got to be looking at things. I be like, yo, C.J. Madam Walker made millions of dollars in the 30s and 40s, and she was a black female. How can I
Mm.
not make $1 million now? You know how
Yo.
racism was back in 30s and 40s for a woman, an
Yo.
Afro American
Yo.
woman?
What?
They come up and down and just burn you up, just hang
Hell
you and just
yeah.
roast you.
Right.
So she had the power to do it in the 30s and 40s. Bro, I'm
You gotta
ashamed
think
of
about
myself.
what the hell she went through to do that, you
Ah,
know?
bro, it gotta inspire you. You know what I'm saying? Like, come
Yeah.
on, that gotta inspire you itself.
Yeah, so
You know what I'm
I know
saying? So,
she was living through inspiration, not desperation.
exactly. If it in her situation, it might have been both.
Oh, you
It
right.
might
You
have been a
right. Thinking of
combination of
context
both.
of the time.
You know what I'm saying? The context of the time, it might have been both desperation and inspiration. 'Cause we talking about a real time,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
those are the
yeah.
times that I reflect on.
Real
That's
deal,
why
Holyfield.
I look at certain things and I be like, yo, I got a shot.
Yeah.
I got friends that ain't got no shots, bro. I shot a video walking in the snow, cold, tired, heading into work to put in another 18 after I just did 3 18 hours consecutive. I'm walking after 2 hours sleep in the freezing cold in the snow, walking to put another 18 in.
Yeah,
And you know what
yeah.
I said to myself? I got friends that would die for this
For the
moment.
opportunity.
The opportunity, either they in the grave or they sitting in San
Locked
Quentin
up.
somewhere
Yep.
or San Quentin style prison, wishing for the opportunity to walk in snow. You know what I'm saying? Heading to work.
Right.
They walking in snow, heading to the tailor shop or the shop that makes the license plates or the shop that makes desks for
Yep.
9 cents, 20 cents an hour.
That's
You know what I'm
crazy,
saying?
man.
That's where they
Fucking
heading to.
crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Where they not turning around and coming home and cashing a big check at the end of the week and be able to sleep in their own bed.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm looking at that and saying, bro, I got this.
Yeah.
You know, whatever it is, I got this. And that's what I do. I dig into that mental Rolodex and I pull it out.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
pull out that fuel.
It's gratitude at the end of the day that you keep
Yeah,
coming back to, and I think that
yeah,
that's what I
yeah.
want to make sure that I push out, that
Mm-hmm.
you know, gratitude is what you keep coming back to as your cornerstone of, you know, your motivation. And
Mm-hmm.
you know, that's huge. That's actually something
Mm-hmm.
that people should take away.
Mm-hmm.
Being, man, you know, it leaves me speechless because of your story. Like,
Right.
you know, for
Mm-hmm.
to come to have the highs, to have the lows, and to, like, still finding the will to know that you have another high coming, and like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, you got these goals. So, you know, Tommy, man, I gotta hit you with another question. Like,
I'm listening.
you know, you got your book, you got your
Mm-hmm.
marathon. You know,
Mm-hmm.
let's say at the end of the year, you know, you hit those goals. All right,
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna paint a picture perfect. All right,
Okay.
you wrote your book, you still working, grinding. Maybe you working 40 hours a week. Maybe you in the mix of like 40. I don't know where you'd be, but you still working.
I still might be at 80. It would just be for myself.
Right.
It just won't be for the corporation.
Right. So I guess my question would be like, in a perfect world, how can I help you on your journey?
In a perfect world, how can you help me on my journey? That's an
Yeah, like
excellent question.
listen, I want you to have a perfect year. You know,
Mhm.
is it hitting you up every week? Am I hitting you up every month? Or like, what can I do to help you? I guess is my question that I want to get to.
The perfect way that you can help me to make everything turn out right is that you continue to work hard and you don't let up. Because look
Church.
what happens. If we still in connection and we
Yep.
still build our rapport, you working extremely hard, you're meeting people. You see what I'm saying? You're changing lives. Your connection, your network is getting bigger.
Yeah.
So by the time I have a perfect year, you had a great, outstanding year yourself. Now, when I go into 2021 and I say, yo, I'm trying to do this, and you go, you know, I got such and such over in such and such that's doing such and such.
Right.
You
Right.
see what I'm
Right.
saying?
We gonna
I got
network
such
our
and such doing
network.
such and such. In order for me to for you to help me, you gotta triple down and double down on yourself
All right.
because now you can pull me up.
That was the
You
best
can help
fucking
me.
answer you could have gave me.
Mhm. That's real, man, and that's real because. And I'll point this last thing out. What I notice about people that are successful in our culture is that they have the relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And that hurts me a lot because when I take these falls, there's consequences behind these falls. You know what I'm saying? I had a company called Urban Horses, which was a great, great car service. We dominated the music industry at one time
Mm-hmm.
before Uber. We dominated, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I wound up getting caught up in a situation, and the judge sends me away for 10 years, right? I lose all the relationships that I could have built.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now I look at the kid on Instagram called PJ Kev. He's doing the car service, but he's doing what I was doing with car service on private jets.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Everybody goes through PJ Kev. Like they used to go through me for the cars when they came to New York. Now everybody goes through PJ Kev when they need a jet. That could have been me. But
Yeah,
I
that was
lost
the next
all the
evolution.
connections. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I lost all the relationships by being sent away. Relationships are key to
Man.
success. And that's why you are so special. That's why you are so much of a tie-in. That's why you are such a strong link because you have what's called network to network.
Yeah.
Network makes the relationships, bro, and relationships makes the business. You ain't got
Man.
no relationship, bro. You ain't got no business. You know what I'm saying? You got an idea.
Straight up.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
It's
real.
real, bro.
That's real as hell. You know, I got chills probably like 4 or 5, but maybe I don't know how many times I didn't show the damn camera the chills on my arms. But
Yeah.
relationships
Real,
are
bro.
key, and
Key, bro.
that's kind of been one of my strong points. You know, through my
Mm.
life is the
Mm.
relationships and the network that I'm able to network with,
Quiet. Mm.
and it's also been one of my downfalls. Like when I've become like the businessman that I am now
Uh-huh.
is that I often didn't fulfill some of those ties. So when I know that you had mentioned before, like one of the most painful things about the process that you went through was the relationship or the you let your team down. You
Mm.
know, so talk to me about the communication that it takes to actually get those things done.
Done. Far as when you say that, you mean far as? Tell me again. Get what done?
Yeah, so like let's say cuz I know you had mentioned before um that letting people down was kind of like the downfall, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like
Uh-huh.
one of the things I know for me that I'll fill this in here, kind of fill this in and fill in the blanks 'cause I feel like I left that really empty.
Mm.
When I got into business, I didn't realize how important communication through email is.
Mm.
Like for me, if you want to get a hold of me, DM message, text message, or phone call. But I never
Right.
really translated the email to like that's how business people have relations, right?
Right.
And
Right.
one of my downfalls in like my personal life is communication. I don't communicate that well, in terms of their context. So for my
Right.
question to you is like, learning through your experiences, like how can I guess you help me communicate and build those relationships to where they never do falter. Does that make
I
sense?
think, yeah, it makes sense. What's key important is honesty.
Mm,
I think
okay.
honesty is key. Like being, I'm talking about when you know a person. Like when you already, because we're talking about what could I did better with my company, with my team.
Right.
Honesty.
That's
When
real.
things are happening, honesty. You know, bad news don't get better over time, right? So you don't hold off on the bad news. Just give it to them raw because the longer you wait, the worse it becomes. So that's key.
Yo,
Honesty
yo,
and communication, like quickly, rapidly. Let's get it. Let's get this out of the way. Let's get this done. Once you go to the drawing board and realize you can't, this is out of your hands. Nothing you can do. Notify the people. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing. I think another thing would hurt me is I'll come clean with this. I think
no, I appreciate it,
boys,
man.
it boils down to honesty, but it boils down to not getting the input of others
Mm,
also.
mm,
Because when you're honest, now they can give you something. They can give you their honesty because you was honest. So they can say F you, or they can say, hey, how about we just do this? Because now you're under the pressure of because you're trying to satisfy them, right? But
mm-hmm,
what if they give you the opportunity to say, hey, don't worry about that.
mm.
Let's do this. Because you're putting yourself under so much strain and you're making poor decisions. Sometimes you need to just pump your brakes. So if you're honest with the people and they really care, they would say, hey, you know what? Don't worry about that. I'll take
Right,
care of the bills for my family get for the next 2 weeks. You just go ahead and get us to the third and fourth week.
right.
Something like in a sense of that. But when you try to lie and you going behind people back and you trying all these super duper backflip, triple backhand springs,
Nah,
triple
yeah,
and
it
things
makes
you land on
sense.
your face, they could have been there to give you the mat if they really cared about you. And
Yeah.
that's where I went wrong. I
Okay.
wasn't honest and I didn't communicate as soon as I should have. You
Yeah.
see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
couldn't
It
prepare.
hits. It
They couldn't
hits
prepare. I
home.
pulled the mat right up under them. So they
Right.
couldn't prepare. So by the time I say we bankrupt, they never got a chance to even get another job or prepare for anything or give me some input.
Right. Right.
And
Right.
that's where I went wrong. And I recommend to never do that, bro. If you know the people. Now, if you don't
Right.
know the people, that's different. But if you have a relationship with people, be honest
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
always remember that bad news ain't getting better.
Man, I
You
gotta
know,
write that
get it,
down,
yeah,
yo.
yeah. Give them some time to prepare. Give them an exit. You know what I'm saying? You don't hurt nobody like that, and that's where I went wrong. I didn't communicate. I didn't give people an opportunity to provide. You know what I'm saying? They was counting on me, and I didn't communicate, and I wasn't honest.
Nah, that's very helpful, and you know it hits me pretty deep because you know I gotta be more honest with these motherfuckers. You know I
Yeah.
don't really have a team per se right now, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm working on doing it. I feel like this past year, like I had the goal of creating a team. I put a lot of energy into creating a team, but I feel like my team's gonna find me,
Mm.
like through this journey. That's kind of my takeaway from it. But the
Mm.
thing that I
Okay.
wanted to say that hits me deep is bad news ain't getting better. Like that
Nah,
shit, you know.
nah. Bad news. It ain't getting no better,
And
man.
if you could give like you know the people that you're invested into like a heads up, I think one of the cool things that you said that I'm gonna remember is like you are opening the floodgates for their opinion and you have to respect that, but they have an opportunity where they could give you suggestions to where if you gave them you know a heads up, maybe that heads up was perfect timing to accomplish you know that missing gap. But if you
Yeah.
don't give them no heads up, then that fucking wall is already at your neck.
That's true. That's it. That's it right there, man. That's it right there. You hit it on the nose, man. So that I learned that, and then it's a learning experience. I won't do that with the next team. And I'm in the process of building a team. There's a lot of trial and error. There's
Yeah.
a lot of trial and error. The people be funny,
What's a
especially
couple
when you
what's a
don't
couple tips with building a team? I need some fucking tips.
you know that it's trial and error, which is really important. Another thing is when you get somebody, take care of that body. Take
Mm-hmm.
care of that person, bro. Take care because they looking for you,
Yeah.
right? But you
Yeah.
got to take care of them, man. You got to take care of them, man, because it's not a lot of good people out here, bro. And I'll be honest with you, Instagram got people looking beautiful.
Right.
You should, and a whole bunch of filters, bro. You know what I'm saying? There's a whole bunch of filters, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's real though.
They don't be real, bro. They be fake, and you be trying to give brothers a shot. I be trying. His
Yeah.
brothers and sisters a shot. I'd be like, come on, man. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? You got to do better. I did one thing with a guy, man, I don't care because he gonna hear it because I'm gonna post this interview. When you get it to me, I'm gonna chop it up and I'm gonna post it, and I
Hell
hope
yeah.
he hear it. This
Yeah.
guy, man, was so bad when it came to business, man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about horrible, man. I mean, like you can't possibly be real. Yo, he was telling me stuff that was impossibly for him to be. I thought he was joking.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
Like I'm talking about when he would say stuff like, "Well, I'm not going to speak to you for another 2 weeks because such and such and so." I'm like, "Bro, I paid you already. Get the project done. You're telling me you're not going to speak to me for another 2 weeks. What you think this is, man?" Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? He's
Yeah.
just picking it. Well, you can call me in 13 days and 6 hours, and I'll take your call. What?
What?
You know what I'm saying? Like, where are you getting this from? Like, who taught y'all this stuff?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this is insanity. And it was like I was thought it was a joke. I'm looking for him to say, "Nah, I'm just kidding. I'll have everything done tomorrow."
But nah.
That never came. He was serious about that. You know what I'm saying? He posted it on his Instagram. It wasn't just for me. He was like telling, like, listen, if you got your project at this time, I'm gonna talk to you at this time, and I'm not gonna if you say this to me, I'm not gonna say that. And like, bro,
Yeah.
like, you know what I'm saying? I was like, this is what he was taught. This is what he thinks works. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I'm saying. It'd be a whole bunch of filters with these people on these Instagrams. And I'll
Yeah.
be testing their chin. Here we
Yeah.
tell them they could do something. I'll be like, all right, how much you charge? Okay, let me see this. Let me see an example of what you done already.
Right.
He'd be like,
Yeah. That
bruh.
shit don't fly,
You know what
man.
I'm saying? Like, come on, I don't mind giving you a chance, but be honest and stop all these filters. Where did you get all these pictures from? You know, you green screening? Like, come
Right.
on,
Right.
bro.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's real, man. But that's the key. And you finding somebody, the key thing when you do find somebody, keep them, take
Yeah.
care of them.
Take care of them,
Even
man.
if he leave, know that you did your part.
Okay. Yep. 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 100%. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's really just for me personally. I think in this next year, I want to, definitely build my brand and stuff. But I want to build a
Oh, that's
team.
dope.
I got a couple people in my corner, so I'm gonna apply some of those rules. Being honest with them and taking care of them is definitely my priorities. Man, a couple things I
Build
want to
it.
take off before
Okay.
we end this thing here, man.
Okay.
One thing that I take away from you, man. I always use this word that or this phrase. It says like hard work works, and lately I've been like doing all these inspirational videos and
Mm-hmm.
podcasts, and like I watch a
Wow.
shitload of content on just like entrepreneurship, because I went to school, went to college, but I feel like I get educated more through like YouTube and just videos and things like that. But
Uh-huh.
what I wanted to get to here by saying all this was um, one thing that I'm learning and that I'm taking away and that I find is evident in you is that
Yeah.
people don't really have to work harder, but they have to work with joy in what they are doing. And
Right.
one podcast that I listened to yours, I was digging in your Daily Bag podcast,
Uh-huh.
but it was
Okay.
about
Mm-hmm.
enjoying the process.
Mm-hmm. That's extremely important. That's
So
extremely
it's so
important.
important. I feel like, if you can enjoy the process with joy,
Mm-hmm.
then that is what's going to make you successful. And I feel like
That's true.
these podcasts are hitting it on the nail for me, like, because this is the shit that I'm about to start putting out. Like, I don't know how long we've been actually recording, but I'm over an hour already. But I
Uh-huh.
can imagine, just straight up, bro. I can imagine 40 clips coming from this bitch, like of
Mm.
gems.
Right. Right.
But
Good.
I
That's
kind of bringing it back to why I even said that was, my old phrase with hard work works, and
work.
I just
Hard
believed
work.
in hard work, works. But it's
Mm-hmm.
not about that no more, man. It's about working with joy, and
Mm-hmm.
that working within joy to enjoy the process. And I
Uh-huh.
feel like that's what's going to allow, my
Mm-hmm.
success in 2020 is simply, putting joy first,
Mm-hmm.
being pleasant minded, being pleasant spirited, being pleasant within
Uh-huh.
my health, and enjoying pleasant things.
Uh-huh.
What do you
Mm-hmm.
think about that?
Man, I think you on the money with that because the thing about life, The thing about life is that it's gonna throw you some curves, bro. It's gonna throw you some curves. No matter how motivated you try to be and how inspired you try to be, things gonna happen, bro.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Things gonna happen. I just was talking about. I just did a post the other day where I was just got up early in the morning. So I'm about to start my 2020. I'm about to exercise. I'm about to go do this 5 mile run. And I go downstairs and my whole car's gone.
No
You know what I'm
shit.
saying? Like it's just the car's just gone. I'm like, what the fuck? Even if it was stolen or it was towed, I'm still gonna be inconvenienced. It's gonna cost me a lot of money, bro. And my day is all screwed up.
Right.
You know, I got the big laundry bag in my hand because I'm gonna, drop my clothes up the laundry, then park, then run the 5 mile run, then come back and pick up my laundry. My whole day is screwed up.
No shit.
It's raining outside. I got my laundry bag. I don't know where the car is at. You see what I'm saying? But that's how life is. It's gonna. But you gotta. And I say that to say, when you're trying to build something, things are gonna get on the way. Obstacles are gonna get on the way. You either gonna have to use those as obstacles, or you're gonna have to use those as stepping stones. Things are gonna get in the way. That's why you have to love the process. Cause you be like, yeah, okay, y'all want to tow the car? Okay, cool. I just thank Allah. I thank God that I got the money to get it out now. I'm gonna work extra hard.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta be enjoying. You gotta be participating in these things. If not, you're gonna knock you right up your square. You ain't gonna get nothing done. Not in life. Because life is just gonna be hitting you with too many things, bro. You got baby mama drama, you got job drama, health drama, financial drama. You gotta be appreciating it as you go along and enjoying the process. It's like writing a book. I'm off for 2 weeks, right? Because I did my quota, so they gave me 2 weeks with pay.
Yep.
So now I just stay up as soon as it gets night. I look forward to getting up and writing the book because I'm enjoying the process, and I don't care if I'm staying up 8 hours when it's dark and I can't watch the end of the football game and none. No, because I'm enjoying this process of getting this book done, of getting these words out of my system. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm enjoying the process of running the 5 miles, 6 miles. You got to get yourself psyched up because other things are going to just knock you off your square. And before you know it, you're not going to want to run no more. And if you don't want to run no more, there's no way you're going to be ready for the 2020 marathon. You're not going to want to write no more. And if you don't want to write no more, there's no way you're going to not be able to finish the book. So if you're feeling that pain, I go right to the book.
Yeah.
You just let that pain out. You let it out because then you look back, you be like, wow, I wrote that?
Yeah,
you got to get that emotion right out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You got to get that emotion right out. Police pull you over and do some foul, racist stuff to you. When he pull off, you got to pull to the side and get that right out.
Yeah.
Don't let it take a day or two because the feeling, emotion is going to be gone.
Yeah.
You got to write that emotion right then and there when it's raw inside of you.
Damn, that
you know
inspires me like in a lot of ways.
And that's when it's going to make people feel it, bro. So,
yo, one last question. I got to ask you this because like I said, man, through these podcasts, like I want to network and all that stuff, but really, man, I want to fucking learn. So like, through your experiences, one thing that I want to ask you is like, what helps you through like the stressful shit, through the times? Like, is there something that you do or, like routinely? Let's say like when you saw your fucking car gone, you was about to run, you got laundry, like what was it that you did or did you do or what do you do casually or typically like during those types of moments that keep you back or that get you aligned? What helps you?
And I'm gonna give you this in this raw. And this might sound cliche.
Nah, I'm with it.
This is what I do, bro. And this is what I did when I came back upstairs to regroup. I put that bag down and I prayed, bro.
Amen.
I pray, bro.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I'm big on prayer, man.
Uh-huh.
I'm a gangster. I'm from Harlem. I come from that crack era, bro. I survived the Civil War.
Mm-hmm.
I survived the Civil War. I never been to nobody army, nobody military, but I'm a veteran. I'm a veteran from the Civil War, bro. With the highest murder rate in America at the time, man. You see what I'm saying? I fought a Civil War, and I survived it. I pray, bro. When every time I'm going through these stressful things, I pray, and I get that tranquility, then I go attack. You got to just stop for a second, bro. You got to just stop.
So powerful,
pray.
man.
You got to pray. You got to take a second, man. You got to take a second and breathe, and then you go and attack it. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't. Some things you ain't gonna be able to change. The car's gone. Now let's go take a breather and find out where the car's at, how much it's gonna cost.
Yeah.
How soon can I get it back? You know what I'm saying? Because that's what happened. It was told. Because I moved to a different place where I live at. I moved from the homeless shelter. I couldn't get nothing in expensive area, so I moved to somewhere nice. But it just happened to be in a terrible area, bro. So
Mm-hmm.
somebody was ringing my bell. Bing, bing. I didn't answer the bell because I'm not looking for no company. Nobody know I live here.
Yeah.
I don't get no mail here. I'm not looking for nothing, right? So
Right.
they ringing the bell, bam, bam, but I ain't answering because I got to go downstairs to open the door to find out who it is. And you can open the door and just put the gun in my face. So I don't even answer the door, right? So they
Straight
bing,
up.
bing, bing.
Yeah.
And I can't. It just happened to be the police and the firemen saying the building. They was knocking the building down next on the corner, and the car was parked there. And because of the demolition, it might mess up the car.
Right. Right.
So they
Right.
was looking for me, and by me not answering the door, they towed the car.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying? That's what happened. They charged me for towing the car because they gave me the 4-hour window to
Yeah.
move the car.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
by the
Yeah.
ring. But so the point I'm making is that I came up here and I took my breather, I prayed, then I went downstairs, seen a cop and asked him did he know what happened, and he let me know, and then now let me address it because there's nothing else I could change at that point.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's the car's gone and they not giving it back without me paying that money, and
Right.
it only
Right.
gets worse.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You
So
let
let
it
me
stay.
just
That
get it,
shit
make me
rack
fruitful.
up,
And that's what I do to get me through them tough times, bro. I pray, bro. I pray, bro. I could say that honestly, I've been through a lot of situations, bro. I've been in situations where if things would have went the other way, I would be on death row right now, bro.
right.
For a crime I didn't even commit. If the jury would have swayed one other way, I'll be on death row right now, and I would have already been waiting, already executed. Or I would have been like already in there 26 years.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And prayer got me through that. You see what I'm saying?
Powerful,
Prayer got
man.
me through that. Mm-hmm.
It's
And
just
I appreciate
powerful
you,
as
bro.
fuck, man.
I appreciate you, bro. I'm always here for you. Anything you need from me, bro, holler. Don't even hesitate, bro. And this is not our last time. We gonna be connecting, bro.
Yeah, we got to
We gonna
do
be
this
connecting.
again.
We gonna be
In due
connecting.
time, we're gonna have to make it work.
For sure, for sure. You know
Man.
what I was thinking about doing? One of my goals was I was gonna get an 18-wheeler, buy me an 18-wheeler, and just travel. Just like if I wanted to meet you in Colorado, I would get a shipment going to Colorado just so I can meet you. Like go
No
somewhere
shit.
near your town and be able to sit down and meet you. And then other people I collaborated with and network with, I just take a shipment to San Diego and meet him.
Right.
Take
Right.
a
Right.
shipment to Louisiana and meet him. Because I'll be making money while traveling,
While
while
working.
meeting the people that interested. That was one of my goals, but I was studying the trucking industry, and they got their own situation right now. But
Yeah.
believe me, bro, we gonna get a chance to link, bro, because I appreciate this, and I just hope that at the end of the day, it changes somebody, man. That's all I hope for, bro.
Yeah,
Even if
man.
it's just one person.
This is one hell of a podcast. I
Right.
think this is a great way to wrap it up. We have
Yes, sir.
Thomie Isreal Finding
That's
Summit, and
Summit. That's right, y'all.
look,
The
man,
Daily
this has
Bag
been
Podcast, man, on all platforms. The Daily Bag Podcast. You can catch me on Instagram at Finding Summit, spelled just the way it is, all one word, man. And he'll put my name the way it's spelled, Thomie Isreal. He'll put it in the show notes. Reach out to me, email me, man. I'm willing to help you. I would
yeah.
appreciate
This
if
is
you give me the opportunity to help you.
an
Anybody.
open invitation for anybody within my network to hop into,
That's right.
Tommy's
That's
network, and that's why we're networking our network.
That's right.
Man, like I said, let me just wrap this up, man. This has been one
That's
hell
right.
of a conversation. You've inspired me.
That's
I know you're going to inspire other people. I wrote down. I'm gonna start taking notes when I do these things because you make me. But a couple notes that I wanna run through real quick before we wrap up to leave y'all motherfuckers with something to take away. All right. So honesty is one of the biggest ones that I highlighted here, because that shit hit me deep because it's so simple, but it's a principle and a rule of ethics in business. And when you talk about relationships within your own infrastructure, like honesty is key. A couple more notes I'm going to run through here is relationships are key, but I like this one the best. Prepare for war in the time of peace. That one hit me in my soul cuz that's something that people need to think about is, okay, we have this going good for us. Well, what else can we be doing that could be, substitute, or what's the word I'm looking for? Complementary to that. So I'm trying to find, I'm aiming to get 7 streams of income. I'm almost halfway there. But the idea behind that is let's say, you know, God forbid, let's say something happened to my business. Like I got other
Uh-huh.
things cracking, you know what I'm saying? So I ain't got to stress about it. So that was
Right.
the prepare for war in the time of peace. And this last one I'm going to leave y'all with is the one that hit me the deepest because this is like applying to my life right now. And it's desperation versus inspiration. And I
Yeah.
think that like there's some type of a combination to get the true equation, but you have to lean on. I would say like the successful people are gonna lean on inspiration, um,
Mm.
because desperation. You know, I listened to this morning, and it was saying like, you know, when you behind on your rent, you start selling shit like you not using. Like, yo, I could probably sell that chair right there. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I don't need that chair too much. So like that desperation can bring that bull out of you. You know, it'll bring that motherfucker out of you. But if you working at an inspiration, I know you mentioned it. Jay-Z works for inspiration. He's taking the inspiration from his environment and everything that
Uh-huh.
he's going through. Maybe he's feeding off of somebody else's trials and tribulations to inspire him to get to where he's going. So those are my key takeaways. I probably could have wrapped that up in a whole way shorter way, but it's such a pleasure, man. Thank you, Thomie, man. I'm gonna have to call you like on the real, like just on a
Yeah,
phone
man.
call type
Just
shit, cause I
please,
appreciate
bro.
you for the opportunity and
Please,
giving me
bro.
your time and all these gems. It's a pleasure to network with your network.
No problem, man. I'm here for you, man. I'm here for your network, man. Just let me know anytime, brother. And that's from the heart.
Hey, man, this is Dana Keith. My special guest today was Thomie Isreal, Finding Summit. Y'all
That's
motherfuckers
right.
stay blessed. Peace.
Mm. Hey.
Word. That's gonna wrap it for the podcast,
Yeah.
man. Thank you,
That's
bro.
real right there.
Fucking
No
thank you.
problem, man. No problem, man. That's yours. That's yours right there. Just do your thing with it, man. I appreciate you giving me the opportunity. Just let me know where to find it when you got it up, all right?
Yeah, I'll go
Because
ahead
you
and
know
give
I
you
got to use that.
expectation. I'm gonna start on my birthday. My birthday's January 18th.
Okay.
I'm gonna put one out. It's gonna be, you know, my podcast, the Networking Network, and I'm gonna do it solo for my first one. And
Uh-huh.
I've got one episode in front of yours, so yours will be the third week. If I look at a
Okay.
calendar right now,
Uh-huh.
I'll give you a date so I can have an
We're
expectation.
closing in like February, be like the first week of February.
All right. You beat me to the calendar.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so let's say because I want to do mine on Wednesdays. Oh, I'm sorry. Saturday. My other
Yes.
podcast is on Wednesdays. So
Mm-hmm.
my
Good.
podcast is gonna have to run on Saturdays. So that
Mm-hmm.
one there. So you'll be February 1st, brother.
On February 1st. Yeah, that's on, that's a Monday. No, I'm looking there. No, that's on a Friday.
Nah, hold on. That should be a
No,
Saturday.
I'm in 2019. My bad. Yeah, that is that. February 1st is Saturday.
Yeah. So I just got one ahead of you. I'm doing just me on my opening one. Cause I want to
Mm-hmm.
just give people an idea of who I am and what the
Yeah.
fuck I'm doing. Um,
Right.
but I got one already recorded, so that'll be the
Okay.
25th, and you'll
Fifth.
be
Yeah.
February 1st, brother.
Yep. Yep.
And I'm gonna do it video, and I'll put like your picture up on video or whatever, for
Okay.
like YouTube, and then it'll
Okay.
just be on all streaming platforms for podcasts, and then I'll chop up. I call it micro content, little bits and pieces. Like for example, when you
Mhm.
talk about some of this shit, like the honesty,
Right.
the prepare for
Mm-hmm.
war, like when you talk about that shit, like I'm gonna have little clips of that. I'll be able to send you everything. So,
Okay. That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. That's what I'm
bruh,
gonna do this time. Got a YouTube channel myself. But I appreciate you, bro.
nah, thank you, bro. I couldn't thank you enough. You
No
killed it,
problem.
man. Star of
No
the
problem.
show.
I really appreciate that. I really appreciate
What
it.
you got going
Anytime,
for
all
the
right,
rest of
bro?
the day?
Working out. I mean, I'm off, so I'm just gonna work out after this, and I'm gonna. This guy, he does like t-shirt. Nah, he do some hoodies.
Yep,
He lives like couple 2 towns over from me. I'm gonna travel over just to buy hoodies from him,
yep.
and I'm gonna just try to write all day, man. I'm just trying to write, and no sports or nothing today. I'm just gonna try to write all day, exercise, write all day, and set some new links up. Like New York just started where you can email the inmates. I got a lot of friends in prison, and I'm like set up accounts today so I can email them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah.
I get inspired from people too. Because if I know like what they go through, I can get that in my soul too. Because I'm like, even though I might be going through something bad, they going through it worse. So if
Right.
I'm feeling down, I be using them as inspiration. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? I
Right.
be like, man, that nigga just got, you know what I'm saying? Oh, this just happened. He on a fresh 20-year bid. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Oh, he
Right.
been in there 17 years. He still got 3 years to go. Imagine what I could do in 3 years.
Right.
So that's why I want to link up all my friends that like maybe about 5 accounts so I can email these guys all so they be hitting me back with stuff. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Because in prison, you ain't got no time to own nothing but to think. They be having ideas that be crazy. You know what I'm saying? So I just
Right.
want to just fuel off of them. So that's the only thing I'm doing today. How about yourself?
Man, I just want to say this real quick before I answer your question. Like, you're pulling inspiration from them, um,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's beautiful. But you're also inspiring them so much
Mm-hmm.
by even communicating with them. I just had a good buddy just get out of a 10-year bid, and
Right.
just every little bit of communication, every bit of effort that's put in, you know, to
Mm-hmm.
to their lives is huge, and
Huge.
they don't
Huge.
forget that shit. When you're in there and
Yeah.
you know firsthand, but
Uh-huh.
nobody really cares about you, and you fucking
Yeah.
see it.
Yeah.
And when people
That's
do
true.
care about you, like that email that you just said that you gonna set up, or even supporting that man business, like that shit goes so
Uh-huh.
fucking far, bro. So
Right.
kudos to you, man.
For sure.
My game plan for today is I'm setting up for the New Year's. I want to make sure that my business, cause I post a lot for my personal, but my business I'm about
Uh-huh.
to start putting up. It's basically like a folder that I pull from to be able to post
Uh-huh.
content all the time. So it's creating stock inventory basically for my
Okay.
business.
Okay.
Social
Yeah.
media posts is what I'll be working on today. Other than that,
Yeah. That's
man, I
right.
got a couple projects I'm wrapping up. A karate video I got to make some final edits for. A couple emails I got to shoot
Okay.
out. But it's business,
Cool.
man. Business as usual.
There ain't nothing wrong with that, bro. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I can't wait to go into business myself, man. But just keep up the good work and stay focused, bro. And I appreciate you.
Hey, man. Love, brother. Appreciate you.
Same here.
One.
One.